Yes, good afternoon. Oh, it can be seen. Okay, wait. Just a second. Yes. So let everybody join. Okay, because after this we are going to start with the revision of the lessons. Today we are going to do in details about the poem and the questions and answers that will be related to the poem, which I will explain both 2 marks and 1 marks. Okay. So I will once again explain you the poem, okay, for the exam purpose only. Also I will discuss about the question and answer that can come in the exam. So what I suggest to you all is before starting the class, it's you keep ready with you paper, a page or your copy, and along with the pencil, through which you can actually write the questions that I am going to tell you while teaching it. Okay, while teaching it I am going to tell you some questions which there is a chance those questions can come in the exam, so you better write them down. That will be beneficial for you all. And before the class, once again let me remind you that hope you have got the exam routine, and which is in the website. If you have not got, then we can send you once again in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so in the school's website probably the routine is there. If it is not there till now, then I am going to send you. Your exams are starting from 13th of July, which is on Monday. Your exams are starting. So according to your exams, you must prepare. And in this exam, once again let me remind you that I am not supposed to accept any answers that are there in the WhatsApp. Okay, if somebody sends me any answer, sir, I have given the test in WhatsApp, you're thinking that okay sir, I have given the test to sir, but there is no mechanism for me to check the answers in WhatsApp. It exists only in the Google Classroom. So you need to send it that to in a PDF version. Okay, PDF version is easier to access, and if you send images, then it will take a lot of time to open, because sometimes some of your images are of extremely high resolution sometimes, or even low resolution, so images are a bit problematic to check. Okay, the page constantly revolves. Okay, we can't make it a fix. For images is it a problem, so better you give in PDF format only. That will be helpful for all of us, as it can be checked easily. So since I am doing the revisions also, so I will once again take you to my PowerPoint presentation where I actually taught you in the class. Okay, so it's almost 4. Let me once again remind you that only necessary questions, if you have any question that is necessary, that is related to the chapter poem, basically you can ask. Unnecessary questions, unnecessary things should not be discussed, or if you talk among your friends in the chat option thinking that the chat is a quite interesting thing to talk, then easily I can shut the chat option from here, which I can easily do. So better be cautious with that. Okay. In the previous day we did with the revisions, basically with the Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom, and we started with it and the thief story, and while teaching them I actually gave questions a lot. Okay, a lot of questions were discussed on the class also, so you need to look into those questions and take them in serious consideration. Today the thief story is left, so today the tiger in the zoo is left, and formal letter writing is also there, which I will once again discuss you about the various types of letter that might come in the exam. Okay, so it's almost 4. Let's start today's class. Okay. So in the first part, first periodic test, second part, which will be of 15 marks, in the division of lessons, basically the questions that will come, that of the types of question that is come is reference to the context, means a line will be taken from either of two of the stories. Okay, that is Long Walk to Freedom or this thief story, or lines can be extracted from the poems also, that depends. Okay, but reference to the context means 1 marks question. Each 1 marks means 2 to 3 lines and to the point answer should be given here. Short answer type is 2 marks. You have to write a little bit more than the reference to the context. Okay, at least 2 to 3 sentences. And formal letter, which will be of 8 marks, and marks will be there for the writing the correct format and also the content of the letter. Now if questions comes like this, I repeatedly told you where does the above line occur, then the answer can be like this: the above line occurs in Leslie Norris's poem Tiger in the Zoo. Okay, so a tiger in the zoo, this poem we did previously Tiger in the Zoo, and while doing this poem we gave a brief introduction of Leslie Norris. Today in today's class also I will read some relevant portions, not whole of the thing. So I will read relevant portions about George Leslie Norris, and I will explain the poem about the writings of the poet along with the poet's own biography. So the biography of the poet goes like: he was born on May 1921 and died on 6th April 2006. So 21st May to 6th April 2006 he died. So he was born in Merthyr Tydfil, South Wales. So South Wales is basically in United Kingdom. His father George was a tall athletic man lacking education because he had to fight in the First World War. So his father fought in the First World War. Okay. Leslie had a cheerful childhood. When Leslie was 19 years old, he joined the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. So both of them went to the army. Okay. Now while in the army, since they both the families were in the army, so Leslie Norris actually saw a few things which I will discuss in the poem also. So when Leslie was a teenager, he sent his first poems to Vernon Watkins, who found his poems not very profound but gave him some advice. So he started writing from a teenager. This man had an influence on his writing style for years. In his free time, he wrote poems and earned money by being unofficial worker for the local government. Then he worked as a teacher and rose to headmaster, finally to a college lecturer. So he was a school headmaster, he worked as a teacher, and he was a college lecturer. So later in 1974, at urging of his wife Kitty, he started his career as a professional writer of poems and stories. So in 1974, he start writing stories. In 1981 and 82, Leslie Norris was a visiting poet in residence at the University of Washington, okay, where he taught and made deep friendships. So basically what I need to tell you is that he himself was a part of the Royal Air Force, and in England actually what happens, or in the Europe, the population of people was not like us, okay. So it is not like that us that they will easily choose who is the most fit man for the army, and the rest of the people will not be needed. So they had very less population, so it was mandatory for all of them generally to almost of the all to join the Air Force or being the soldier, okay, in the First World War. So his father went in the First World War being an athletic man, okay. So he realized, or he seen his father, that a person of a different identity, that is athletic man, suddenly changed his profession into First World War. Now it is like this, okay. Suppose some of you are students in class 10 in Asansol North Point School. Suddenly you were told at this moment that the world war has started, okay, and you have to join as a army man in the women's force or in the men's force. So either in the men or women's force, if you have to join the army, then your student's identity is lost, right? So you are becoming the army men at this moment or army women at this moment. So this loss, everyone do not wish to do that. Suppose you don't wish to do that. Suppose you are more inclined to the fashion industry, you are more inclined to be a model, you are more inclined to being an air hostess, you are more inclined to be a pilot perhaps, or perhaps you have other dreams of becoming an engineer, okay, and suddenly those dreams were lost. So this Tiger in the Zoo, this poem Tiger in the Zoo, actually talks about those loss, okay, but it is mentioned in the poem as if the tiger is there. So what is there actually? So let's get back to the book's poem. Yes. So let's get back to the book where the poem is. Okay. Now get ready with your copy as well, because I will not only read the poem but I will also tell you the questions that are relevant. So, a tiger in the zoo. The poem is written in such a way as if the tiger is there, okay, and the tiger while in the zoo is imagining his life. The tiger is basically imagining his life in the wild. So this poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with a tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. So read the poem silently once and say which stanzas speak about the tiger in the zoo and which ones speak about the tiger in the jungle. So naturally there are various stanzas which actually describes the poem in details. So basically it is a 5 stanza poem, as we can see, and only 2 stanzas actually, as we have read, only 2 stanzas actually talk about the tiger in the wild, and the other stanzas actually talk about the tiger in the zoo. Now before starting the poem, you must keep in mind that no tiger is intention or no tiger has committed any crime as if he is jailed in the zoo. In general sense, human being commits crime, and in order to punish, those people were sent to jail, right? Now here the tiger is jailed also, and the tiger has actually done no crime. Okay, it is against his will, it is against the tiger's will what he becomes to be, and he is forced to be in the zoo. Okay, just for the sake of the need of the human beings who wants to see them, he is in the zoo. It is as if you were suddenly taken to the war. You are suddenly taken for a war, okay, and you wanted to be something, but you are suddenly forced to be join the armed forces. So if you are not willing to join the armed forces, then definitely it is not necessary also. But if we suddenly give you the chance, if we suddenly tell, okay, you have to join, like the tiger have to be in the cage, so what you will think? You will, while in the battle, you will constantly think that how I used to visit the school, how good the school was, okay, how good the friends were, how good my home was. So you will always think that. So this is the nature within you, right? And this nature is challenged. So the tiger, it is poem mentioned in such a way: he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. So the tiger is in the vivid stripes, means in yellow stripes. Stripes means color. Okay, so let's get back to the poem. Yes, so the tiger is slowly walking with his sharp stripes on his body, which is the nature of the tiger, and he is moving only a few steps of his cage. He is moving on the pads of velvet, which is on the claws of the tiger, and his paws of the velvet make the tigers walk quietly in his quiet rage, okay, in his quiet anger. The tiger was in an angry mood. So if the question comes, what is the mood of the tiger, okay, in this poem, we can easily say that the tiger was in a sad mood, okay, or the tiger was not in a happy mood. So the tiger walks, so if this line comes, he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Okay, then what is the where is the tiger at this moment? Cage means here the cage of the zoo. So where is the tiger at that moment? Where is the tiger at that moment? The tiger is inside the cage of a zoo. Okay, what was the tiger doing in the cage? What was the tiger doing in the cage? The tiger was walking slowly inside the cage. Okay, and what is the mood of the tiger? The tiger was in a sad mood. Okay. So this is the tiger inside the zoo. He is not in a good mood. Okay. But what the tiger is supposed to do here? The tiger is supposed to do something. So he should be lurking in the shadows, sliding through the long grass near the water hole where the plum deer pass. So in the second stanza, what do you think? So the question can be in this way. What do you think the tiger is supposed to do? What do you think the tiger is supposed to do? And if the question comes, then you have to actually explain in 2 marks. Okay, what the tiger is supposed to do? Okay, means what is the tiger's job if the tiger was kept out of the cage? If the tiger was free, what are the job of the tiger? So if the tiger was free, the job of the tiger should be to slowly lurk in the shadows. Okay, so to lie hidden in the shadows, sliding through the long grass. So the tiger must be hiding in the shadows in the long grass near the water hole, near the place where water is there, and where the deer passes, where the plum deer passes. Okay, where the swift deer passes. So where the deers come to drink water, in those places, okay, the tiger in those places, basically what the tiger would do, the tiger should slowly hide there. Why will be the tiger hiding there? The basic reason is the tiger will be hiding there for the prey to catch. So the tiger basically needs to catch the deer. So what is the tiger supposed to do? If this is a question for 2 marks, what is the tiger supposed to do? Then the tiger should be slowly walking in the shadows, sliding through the long grass, okay, near the water hole where the swift deer passes. Okay, so the tiger should be around the places where his food is. Now if the tiger eats the deer, then it is not the crime of the tiger, because tiger is supposed to eat the thing. Okay, it is not a crime, and with this, for this crime he cannot be jailed in the zoo. Okay, we can't say suddenly let the tiger be herbivorous animal, let him be total vegetarian. Okay, let the tiger be totally vegetarian and let him eat all the vegetables that we eat. No, we can't do that. The tiger can't be do that. Tiger must hunt his prey or his or her prey, and that's what the tiger is doing, supposed to do at this moment, if he was not inside the cage. Now inside the cage also the tiger is getting food. Everybody is providing the tiger food. So the tiger is quite happy inside the cage, we can say. But with that the tiger can't do anything. The tiger has no quest. Tiger is getting a limited food. Tiger is only cleaned. So tiger has no work to do inside the cage. And if you have no work to do, then you are useless. So the tiger feels like that. Suddenly the tiger is captivated. So he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So what he should be doing? He should be snarling, means he should be making angry sounds. Snarling means making angry sounds. Okay, around houses at the jungle's edge means end of the jungle. So baring his white fangs and his claws. So he should be uncovering his long sharp teeth. Okay, he should be uncovering his long sharp teeth, and he should be terrorizing the village. Now here what the poet imagined, the poet here imagined that the tiger, basically what he imagined is The tiger should be around the places in the jungle. Okay, he will be showing his white teeth, he will be showing his white claws, and every people in the village will be terrorized with it. So the tiger is presented as that type of animal, okay, who is of full strength, for whom 30 to 40 men will come to attack, okay, and the tiger is alone enough to face all them. It shows the leadership, it shows the fear. Tiger, everybody fears the tiger because of his, okay, because of his strength, the tiger's strength, the tiger's attitude. And the basic thing is tiger eats human beings, and that's why he needs to be feared. So the thing is that in these two stanzas, the tiger is supposed to be snarling around the houses, the tiger is supposed to be around the places where the swift deer passes. So that should be the tiger's job. Right? So this is what the tiger is supposed to do. Instead, what is the tiger doing? The tiger is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind the bar, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. So the tiger is forced to lock in the concrete cell. There is no reason for locking, there is no so valid reason. So the strength of the tiger is behind the bars. So he is walking, so the tiger is basically walking in the cage, and the tiger is basically ignoring the visitors who are there. Now imagine you as a person, as a human being, okay, you have your dreams, right? Everybody have your dreams. So if your dreams are being taken away, if your dreams are being lost, okay, suppose you wanted to be something in life, okay, suppose you wanted to be a teacher, a very good academician, or you wanted to be a very good homemaker even, and suddenly you are forced to go to the army, and you are made told to fight. You are told to suddenly show your strength, show your courage. Now Leslie Norris has actually obsessed with these things. He had seen his father. He had seen his father a very good athlete. The Leslie Norris had seen this. Now as a child you were seeing your father, if you are seeing your father is a very good athlete, and you were seeing suddenly he has been taken away in the First World War, okay, then how would you feel? Perhaps his father didn't wanted that. Like the tiger didn't wanted to be in the concrete cell. Right? An athlete is supposed to show his skills. Like you are supposed to show your skills. Suppose you are now studying in the school. Now you are supposed to be in the school. Right? You are supposed to be in the school. You are not supposed to be in the war field. So suddenly if you are taken in the war field, so what will you do? Your strength will go down, okay, means your ability to write will deteriorate, you can't read properly, okay, you will forget everything that you have read, and your mind will be with something else. So the concrete cell, the tiger's strength is behind the bars. So the tiger is walking in the length of his cage and ignoring visitors. Now will you actually, if you are in the war field, if you are being an athlete, like Leslie Norris's father was an athlete, now will he be giving the exact thing which he is supposed to give as an athlete? Definitely not. He will not give his 100%. So the tiger is expected for the visitors to show his strength, to show his courage, okay, to growl as he is supposed to do, but he is not doing anything. He is locked in a concrete cell. His strength is behind the bars. It is the mental condition. of the tiger. The strength is behind the bars. So he is walking the length of his cage and he is ignoring the visitors. So if the question comes, okay, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, then the question can be asked is, how is the tiger terrorizing the village? So the basic question is, how is the tiger terrorizing the village? You can write this, how is the tiger terrorizing the village? The tiger is terrorizing the village basically with his white teeth, with his white claws, okay, and he is snarling around the houses at the end of the jungle. Okay, so how is tiger terrorizing the village? He is snarling around the houses at the end of the jungle. He is showing his white teeth and claws, and that is how he is terrorizing the village. So another basic 1 mark question can be, where plump deer passes? So where does the plump deer pass? The plump deer passes near the water hole, 1 marks. So this is the difference between a 1 marks and the 2 marks. Okay, 1 marks is exactly to the point. If you write in 1 or 2 sentences, you would get a good marks even. Okay. So the tiger, why is the tiger ignoring the visitors? Why do you think the tiger is ignoring the visitors? 2 marks questions this can be in the exam. So the tiger is locked in a concrete cell and his strength is behind the bars. So he is just walking around stealthily, okay, in the cage, and that's why he don't care about the visitors. He don't seem interested in the visitors because they are not more necessary for him. He is locked. Take him out of the bars, take him out behind the bars, okay, open the gate of the cage, and the tiger will show his strength, and the tiger will start paying interest in the visitors also. Okay, come visitor, you came to see me, I also came to test you. Okay, like that. So the tiger will also feel interested in the visitors. So what is the mental condition of the tiger? The mental condition of the tiger is in a very sad and depressive mood. So, and another thing, the jungle's edge village here refers to basically the village that is there. The village that is there, 1 more paragraph is left, I know, but let me tell you, the villages are basically at the end of the jungle. Those villages the tiger often comes, and the poet has actually observed the thing that the tiger came in the village and the tiger took animals, the tiger started terrorizing the villagers. So Leslie Norris read all these things, and out of his reading he actually wrote this poem. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So the why the tiger is looking at the brilliant stars? The question can be, why the tiger is looking at the brilliant stars? The tiger is looking at the brilliant stars with a hope so that one day he can be moved out, or he can escape from the cage. So he is not looking at the visitors, he is looking at the stars, he is looking at the nature. So that he hears the last voice at night. Who is he here? He hears the last voice at the night. He here is the tiger. If he should be snarling around the house, who is he here? He is the tiger. His strength behind the bars. Who is he here? He is here the tiger. Okay. So he hears the last voice. Don't write he is the poet here. Don't write this. Okay. So he hears the last voice at night. He is the tiger here. The patrolling cars. Patrolling means the cars that actually take care of the entire zoo. those cars are there. So the cars actually were there for the visitor, so that if any visitor is left. So here's the last voice at night. The patrolling cars were there to check if any visitor is there. Basically for the visitors these cars are, okay, patrolling cars. So the tiger is awake. The tiger doesn't sleep, because his sleep won't come inside the cell. The tiger is not doing anything. The tiger is not doing any activity. He is only eating. He is in a devastated mood. His strength is gone. So why will the sleep come? Sleep comes only if you are tired by the day's work. That sleep is the sleep. But if you are not doing anything for the entire day, if you are not having any job for the entire day, then the sleep will definitely not come. And this is the basic reason why most of us don't get a proper sleep. We don't walk quite along, okay. So that's why the tiger looks with the brilliant eyes, okay. Brilliant means the tiger's eyes are a lot of hopes, okay. There is a lot of hope in the tiger's eyes. One day he will get out, and he looks at the brilliant stars, okay. So once again, let's see the tiger. Yes, so this is the tiger inside the zoo, and this is the tiger, okay, in the jungle. So I gave the summary of the poem, as the poem begins with a description of a tiger that is very beautiful and is walking in the little cage. The tiger is looking very beautiful, and the tiger is walking in the little cage. He has beautiful stripes on his skin and velvet like soft paws. But the tiger is not happy and is quite angry about being confined in the cage. And so the tiger is not happy. What is the mood of the tiger? He is not happy. He is quite angry. So read the summary of the poem also. The summary of the poem will also help you to give a lot of question answers. And the questions that I told you actually of 2 marks, I also showed you the lines from which the questions can come. Okay. So but the tiger is not happy and is quite angry about being confined in the cage. The poet says that if the tiger was confined to the zoo cage, he would have been hiding himself behind the long grass near some water body in order to catch its prey, that is the deer. Yes, so if the tiger was not inside the zoo, the tiger would go and catch its prey, which is the deer. Also, he would have terrorized the residents of the villages around the forest area, so he should have terrorized the residents. But the reality is totally opposite to this, so this is not the reality. He was confined in a cage which made up of strong building material, and he was helpless there. So the tiger was confined in a cage and the tiger was helpless there. He could not show his power to the visitors, so the tiger cannot show his powers to the visitors. Therefore never tried to terrorize them. That's why he never showed any interest, he ignored them. The tiger is described as being powerless and agonized by the poet. So the tiger is powerless, the tiger is agonized here. Okay, so it is the helplessness condition of the tiger. He says that during night he is alone, hearing the voice of patrolling vehicles of police and looking at the stars. So he hears the patrolling vehicles of the police and he also looks at the stars. The cage life has totally changed the tiger's personality. The poet is trying to say that animal which is famous for its fearlessness and freedom is confined and sad due to the human beings who want to derive pleasure by looking at him in the zoo cage. So every human being just want to look at the tiger inside the cage. That's why the human being feels, okay, it is very good for me to let's captivate the tiger. Okay, so let's captivate this tiger and let us confine him. So with this intention, human beings generally capture the tiger. Okay. So why is the tiger ignoring the visitors? The tiger is ignoring the visitors because the tiger lost its interest, lost its own strength. Okay, and that's why he is ignoring the visitors. So baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So if now suddenly the question comes, where does the above line occurs? So So the above line occurs in Leslie Norris's poem A Tiger in the Zoo. This is the complete answer. Okay. So where is the village situated? Where is the village situated? If the question comes like, where is the village situated? The village is situated at the edge of the jungle. The village is situated at the edge of the jungle. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs. Who is he here? To whom he is referred to here? He is referred to as the tiger. Okay. Like if the question is asked, who is he here? He is the tiger, like this. Okay. Simple question, 1 mark. So where does the plum deer passes? The plum deer passes near the water hole. Okay. So another question is, yes, who stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars? The tiger stares with the brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars because the tiger is hoping that one day he will get out of the cage, okay, and will live the life freely. Okay, so this is the pathetic condition of a tiger inside the cage. Look at the tiger. Okay, so this is the concrete cell. This is where the tiger is, and this is the tiger in the jungle. If the tiger is in the jungle, then the tiger would be in its own strength. Look the way the tiger is looking. So that's what the difference is. The tiger is not destined to do that. Similarly, a human being is also not destined to everyone to force a job. But if the human beings are forced to do something, then the human being will not give his 100% for that job, because he will be not happy with his job. Okay, so human being must be happy with what he is doing. If the human being is not happy with what he is doing, like the tiger, he will very soon ignore the visitors. Ignoring visitors is not the job of the tiger inside the cage. The tiger should be paying interest in the visitors. This is for what the tiger is being kept. Right? The tiger is kept to show the visitors who he is, and the tiger is not doing the job. So if you are not given the proper opportunity, then you will start ignore your job also. And this is what the poem is all about. Okay, the poem talks about this thing. The poem talks about the helplessness condition of the tiger. Okay, we have dealt this. So in this poem, the poem written by Leslie Norris explains the agony and helplessness of a caged tiger that lives in a zoo. So the poet explains that what his life could be if he had been a free animal. So if the tiger was a free animal, what the tiger could do? The poet has tried to explain about the condition of animals that are caged by human beings for their own fun. So the purpose of it is for the human fun. You pay a ticket to the zoo. Okay, you buy a ticket and you want to see the tiger. You want to click the photograph of it. Look, I have clicked the photograph of a tiger. How great photographer I am. Like that. So you always dream of that. But what the tiger wants? The tiger wants to look where the deer is passing. The tiger wants to terrorize the village with his white teeth and claws. So the tiger wants to eat. The tiger wants to roam around. But the tiger is not doing anything in this poem. And this is what the poem is all about, the tiger in the zoo. Okay. So next day, basically what we will do is, we will come up with the letter writing. Okay, we will come up with the letter writing. Basically, for the technique, take it into consideration that if it is 8 marks, then for the proper format we will give you 3 to 4 marks, and for the content of the letter you will be getting another 4 marks. So 4 plus 4 makes 8 for the letter. So make both of the things quite strong, content and If the content is not strong, then the letter won't stand, and if the content is strong and the format is not there, then also the letter won't stand. So keeping these things in mind, we will proceed on to the techniques of letter writing in the next class. Okay, so this was all about the poems, today's poem. Hope you enjoyed the poem. Now prepare for the exam, which will be starting on 13th of July, that is on Monday. Okay students. Okay, so thank you students. I am closing the video now. I read the poems questions that I just gave you while teaching you once again or revising you the poem. Okay, thank you students.
Hey, ये जो हो रहा है, स्क्रीन कितने की